A warm welcome to this press conference before the second leg of the final 16 match between us and Manchester City here. I welcome our head coach Marco Rose here and our goalkeeper Janis Blaswich. We're running a bit late with the conference because some colleagues from Germany are a bit delayed on their journey here. They might join us in a second, but we're going to start now anyway. I can let you know that there will be 3,000 Leipzig supporters in the stadium tomorrow night. But now it's your opportunity to ask questions. Raise your hand if you like. Both speakers on stage can answer in English if you prefer. Yes, hello to both of you. I know normally that you do not train for penalties. What was it like in the run-up to this match? Did you do any penalty training, or are you still going to? And Janis, in particular, do you prepare for that kind of scenario? You've just shown that you can parry penalties, you can save penalties if it's required. Well, this is day 2 after the previous match. We didn't really have any time to do training sessions. We're just recovering. So we didn't have any training for penalties, and it wasn't part of the plan, to be honest with you. Janis, in terms of penalties, is excellent anyway. He doesn't need to train for it. If we were to have a penalty training session in the stadium, no, that wouldn't be very clever. Yes, as a goalkeeper, of course, you prepare for penalties, but that's the same in the league and in the Champions League. There's no major difference. I don't know what was asked. You said in terms of the squad, if necessary, you'd come with just 12 players. I don't know what worked out in the end. How many did manage to come over, and what can you say about what's going to be important tomorrow night? Yes, we have got 17 outfielders and 3 goalies, so it's actually 20 in total that came across. What's going to be important tomorrow? Well, we have a second leg, don't we? So that means we played against the opponent a couple of weeks ago. We know what to expect, what kind of quality, what kind of build-up and so forth. There's nothing new there. I think City might make some minor amendments. So we did say the first half in Leipzig was bad, but our defence was actually not too bad. We didn't let them create that many chances, but we hardly had any possession. That was the major issue in the first half. So we want to be a bit more intensive also when we defend, meaning we will have possession a bit more. And once we have that ball, once we have possession, we need to be responsible with that as well. When you play a top team like this, you need to find the right balance. If we just press only, if we open spaces for them, or if we just defend and don't move up front, we're going to concede at some point. We need the right balance. We needed a lot of confidence, however, as well, and courage. And we basically will need our best match this season. That wouldn't be bad if we had our best match this season tomorrow. Yes, there won't be any gifts or presents from City, of course. We need to work hard for everything, and the coach said it correctly. We need to find the right balance between pressing and compact defending. And once we do that, we're ready for everything. Benjamin Post. Yes, hello. So what will Dani Olmo be as a factor? I mean, how hot is he? How keen is he to play? What's the situation like in terms of Dani Olmo? Dani coped pretty well with the injuries, so we were kind of treating him a bit. He's still recovering, but he will definitely be a factor, as you were saying, tomorrow. He can probably play 20, 25, maybe even 30 minutes. But what you have to know as well, this is the final 16 in the Champions League, and if you have a player that can maybe play 20 minutes only, Dani needs time. Dani tomorrow will not be the Dani that we know, but even that Dani that we will see tomorrow can be of benefit to us. We know that, and we're just happy that he's coming back. I have a question for Janis. Do you prepare particularly for the possibility of penalties? I think you're a bit late, aren't you? We've had that question before, but I'll gladly answer it again. Just as I said before, there's no major difference between playing in the Bundesliga and in the Champions League, because we do prepare for penalties there as well. It might end up being a few more penalties here, but the preparation is just standard. No worries. You didn't miss many questions, but that was one of the key questions you did miss. Maybe you can ask again in English, same question. Philip Weiskirch, MDR. I don't know whether that was asked before. So, Mr. Rose, you don't need to worry about the second half tomorrow. What about the first, though? Ooh la la. Ooh. Harsh. And I was saying this as well before, you missed it again. Our first half against City without the ball was actually okay, so we were quite good in the defence. We maybe weren't as high as we wanted. We maybe didn't have as much control as we'd wanted, but we didn't allow them to create many chances. The goal, that was our own fault, basically. And then there was a dangerous free kick and one shot from Grealish, and that's about it. But the impression of the first half was mainly that once we gained a ball, once we had possession, once we cleared, we didn't use anything of those opportunities, and that's something we need to do better tomorrow, transitions and so forth. So in theory that sounds nice and easy, but against City, in practice, a team like City, that will be a completely different ballgame. We need confidence, that's what's crucial. Thomas Kunze? I came up with a question that's so creative that it can't have been asked before. Hello. So, I think in November was the last time they lost a match here. Does that help you when it comes to preparing for the team? I was really happy until I heard someone else say what you just told me. Why do you keep telling me when they lost? I think we had a massive series of 18 matches, several months where we didn't get beaten. A run of matches without any defeats. Of course, it will be a major challenge here at this stadium against City. It's football. It's the final 16. There was a 1-1 draw in the first leg. Whoever wins tomorrow will proceed. And we're just here to compete with the best there is. We just want to seize that opportunity. But what I was saying before, this must not do anything to our confidence, to our self-esteem. We must just go for it tomorrow. And then we shouldn't be talking about confidence anymore, other than just talking about it. We need to show it on the pitch as well tomorrow. That will be crucial. Ivan Gabriel? In the first leg, you were quite good at controlling Erling Haaland, or did you say it worked pretty well, or did you say you need to concentrate on focus on Haaland even more now? Well, if I start talking about Erling, I need to start talking about Kevin De Bruyne as well, and then I need to talk about Silva, and once I've talked about Silva, I then need to talk about Ilkay. So, who do you want me to say what qualities there are? Erling's qualities, everybody knows that. He's got 28 goals in 26 Premier League matches, I think. We were able to defend against him pretty well in the first leg, and we will need the same again tomorrow. You will never be able to neutralize him entirely in a complete match. In the first match, he had one situation as well when he was dangerous, but as a team we need to do everything, and we need to be always entirely focused, because it's not just Erling, as I was saying. There's a few other world-class players in that team, not just Erling.
Hello, Janis, can I ask you about Haaland? He's obviously one of the best finishers in the world. How do you prepare going in to face an opponent like that?
Yeah, I think it's not only finishing. You have the nose to stay on the right spot on the right time. But it's really not only one player. It's the whole team we play against. But of course, his quality is important also for City. But we don't change anything or make anything different or special because of him.
Have you looked at his penalties?
Not yet.
I had to ask you penalties, sorry. Marco, one for you too, if I may. Pep Guardiola said today that he feels he'll be judged, rightly or wrongly, on whether he wins this competition here at Manchester City. Do you think that's fair?
We talk about one of the best coaches in the world, and I mean, it's not just about results in football for us, for the coaches. It's about performances. It's about improving players, improving a club. And I think that's what he did always, and that's what he is doing here. And at the end, I really wish him to win that competition once, maybe not this year.
Could you hand the microphone over to your colleague, please? Thank you.
Hi, Marco. Just in terms of Pep, he talks about Manchester City and trying to create a history for the club in Europe because historically they didn't qualify a lot for European football. How does that work for a team like Leipzig, which has started virtually from scratch in that sense and are still only just in their 4th or 5th year in the Champions League?
To be honest, I don't know really what you want to know now.
Well, is it harder for a club who hasn't got the history of a Bayern Munich or a Real Madrid or of a Manchester United or a Liverpool? Is it harder for them to succeed? Pep always seems to think that it's difficult for teams who haven't won in Europe to win in Europe because the other clubs have the history and the mindset.
I don't know. Is it harder? We are here to win games. Of course, it's interesting to work for a club with a big history. I don't know. Is it easier to win titles then? I think they won a lot of titles. City
In Europe.
In Europe, Europe. Yeah, Europe is different. But if you win the Premier League or 2019, they won all domestic titles here. I know it's not Europe, but at the end, what we are talking about, we are talking the biggest competition in Europe, and just one team is able to win that title, and Pep is trying, and again it don't change. He's one of the best coaches in the world for me. And if he never win the title with City, he stays one of the best coaches in the world. And of course, he is one of his biggest wish, but trying again. That's what. And I don't know. It's easier or more difficult if you are a coach of a not so historical team. This is right. Yeah.
I mean, so we're used to from Germany, Bayern being contenders, maybe Dortmund sometimes as well. Are Leipzig now contenders because you're consistently at the top?
Yeah, we are a young club and we try our best, and I think we have a great philosophy, and that's why we are here. It brought us in this round, in this stadium. I mean, it's not the first time that we are in the last round of 16 with Leipzig. So it means we are doing a great job in Leipzig with the young club, and we try to get better. And in 20 years we are not young anymore. Then we are older. And maybe we are talking about titles in Europe for Pep, for me, for Leipzig. I don't know.
Yeah, just the colleague behind you.
Hi, Marco. There's a debate going on in England now about Man City's possession-based playing style, of course, quite patient playing style, and Erling's style that has historically been more accustomed to counter-attacking, more direct football. You know all his qualities and him as a personality. Do you think he's going to merge into Pep Guardiola striker, or do you think he's going to stay the original Erling Haaland here as well?
I hope he stays the original Erling Haaland. And again, he scored 28 goals in 26 league games. If you put these goals away, I don't know where City would be now in the league. So I don't know what we are talking about. Erling Haaland is one of the top player and top number 9 in the world. And of course, City played last year more with the wrong number 9, with the number 9 in the middle field, much more like this. But for me, they are much more difficult to play because you don't know. They play deep or they play short. They have more possibilities, you know. They can use Erling as a wall player. They can send him in deep spaces. And in Leipzig, they played, I don't know, for 10 minutes with a lot of patience in possession. So it means, for me, they are more complete now. And I think if he's one more year here and he got used the things who Pep wants, it could get really, really, really good with Erling, Pep and Manchester City.
You seem a bit surprised that there's a discussion going on about him.
Yes. If you don't want him, send him to me. I take him. Yeah.
I saw you had a long
even for the last 10 games, then you can get him back. So, yeah, I'm really surprised about it because I love him. He's a really good guy and a good player, and yes.
I saw you had a long discussion with him after the game in Leipzig. What did you talk about?
Just about his life here. He feels good. He feels comfortable with the team, with the city, with the fans. Yeah, he think he did the right decision to come here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Benjamin Post, die Leipziger Volkszeitung.
Yes, a question for Janis. It's a special game. What's it like as a goalkeeper? Do you going to maintain your routine, your rituals? Are you going to do something special? Are you going to sleep a bit longer? Whatever. Yes, I tend to fall asleep when I'm jumping. No, it's just a normal standard routine, normal procedures, even if it is a special match for me and the entire team, but the procedures will remain normal. We were not going to change anything. Yvonne, Gabriel? Janis, once you're here, let's look towards summer. You had a good match on Saturday. Your coach said it's good to have that competition in the goal. Now Peter is going to come back. How do you see your role after the summer? Are you going to say, I'm going to go back at the back of the queue? I'm still number 2. Well, it's not summer yet. I don't know if you've noticed, it's quite cold outside. It's quite English weather actually here. No, there's absolutely no way I'm looking at what will happen in the summer after the summer yet. I'm not thinking about that yet. I think that's the end of the press conference. Many thanks for all your questions. Let's have a great match tomorrow night. See you tomorrow.